Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash True Inferno. Back at it with another unique Throwback Tunes. Now here's why it's unique. Because I am not reviewing a rap album, a hip hop album, a mixtape of any kind, or R&B album. Nope. I am reviewing a house album. Yes. And the album in question, Discovery by Daft Punk. This is a 5 out of freaking 5. So for those of you who heard of this album, who heard this album, know about the album, or even the duo that came out with this album, you should be pretty excited and you should know the outcome of this review. This is a 5 out of freaking 5. That don't mean stop watching or listening. But for those of you who don't know about this album or don't know about Daft Punk or anything like that, I'ma school you real quick. So, Daft Punk is a French electronic music duo. Yes, and Discovery is their second studio album. This one came out February 26, 2001. So at this point, I was still in my junior year of high school, getting close to wrapping that part up and going into my senior year just about. So, this album is, like I said, it's mostly French house, but it also got some garage and disco. And it's heavily inspired by disco, post-disco, garage house, and synth pop, excuse me. And their first album was called Homework. That came out in 1997, so we're talking 4 years apart here. Moving on, this album, for the album's music video rather, the group developed a concept involving the merging of science fiction, aka sci-fi, with the entertainment history. Inspired by their childhood love for Japanese anime, the duo collaborated with Leiji Matsumoto to produce Interstellar 5555, the story of the secret star system. Now, looking at the title, they took out the first letter of story, secret, star, and system, basically the letter S in all four of those words, and replaced them with the number 5. Thus, the Interstellar 5555, the 4 5s. Story 1, secret 2, star 3, system 4. There you go. And this was an anime film, or this is an anime film rather, with the entirety of Discovery as the soundtrack. So what that means is, if you were to watch this movie, there's no dialogue, there's no speaking, nothing like that. It's just the entire album being played throughout this whole movie. And really, this album and that movie put Daft Punk on the map, in my opinion. Because I would have never heard about them if it wasn't for that movie, which was played on, or parts of it was played on Toonami, or was it Adult Swim? It was one of those two. I want to say Toonami. And it inspired me to go and listen to it and grab the album, things of that nature. And I was like, bruh. But moving on. So the producers involved with this album were Thomas Bangalter. How you pronounce this? Bangalter, Guy Manuel de Homem Cristo. That's all one name right there. And this was recorded from 1998 up to the year 2000. So that's pretty crazy. Moving on with a little bit of background info in regards to this album. In the lead up to Discovery's release, the duo adopted robot costumes, claiming they had become robots as a result of an accident in their studio. They also launched Daft Club, a website which would feature exclusive tracks and other bonus material. More on that later. Okay, and then other musicians such as Kanye West have sampled tracks from Discovery in their own works. We'll get more on that later as well. Some of you should know what that Kanye West track I'm talking about. But for those of you that don't, I'll get more on that later. So, let's look at the charts for this album alone. So it was number 7 out in Australia, number 6 in Austria. Number 1 in the Ultra Top Flanders, number 3 in the Ultra Top Wallonia, number 2 in the Canadian albums and the French albums, number 5 in the German albums, number 8 in the Italian albums and the New Zealand albums, number 3 in the Norwegian albums, number 7 in the Swedish album, number 6 on the Swiss album charts, number 2 in the UK album charts, number 23 in the US Billboard 200, number 3 in the US Top Dance/Electronic Album charts, and number 1 on the US Top Catalog Album charts. By the end of the year, it was number 100 out in Australia, 69th in Austria, 33rd on Flanders, 20th in Wallonia, 81st in Dutch, which was not even a weekly chart. Moving on. 15th in French and 54th in Switzerland. So, this is a 5 out of freaking 5. Here's the certifications. Out in Australia, it was gold, standing over, or, around 35,000 copies. In Belgium, it was gold as well, standing over 25,000. I ain't gonna read the number. I'm just gonna read the certification. Canada, it was gold, as well as Germany and Switzerland. In France, it was triple platinum. Japan, it was regular platinum. In the United Kingdom, it was double platinum. And as the United States, it was also gold as well. And in Europe, it was summarized to be platinum. So, yeah, there you go with that. And would I say that this, we'll get more of that later, for is this their best album ever? Because this is the only album I heard from them. But we'll get more of that later, like I said. Now, let's move on to the track listings for this album. So there's 14 tracks, which means I can give you only a top 3, not a top 5, unfortunately. Nothing skits here, by the way. So, let's get on with it. The first track is called One More Time, featuring Romanticity, followed by Aerodynamic. Next up is Digital Love, followed by Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. More on that later. The fifth track is called Crescent Dial. Track number 6 is called Night Vision, followed by Superheroes. Next up is High Life. Track number 9 is called Something About Us. Oh my, we get more on that later. Track number 10 is called Voyager, followed by, how you pronounce this? Veritas Pro? Yeah. Track number 12 is called Short Circuit, followed by Face to Face, featuring Ty Edwards. And the last track is called Too Long, featuring Romanticity. And I'll get more on that track later as well. That's pretty crazy. So, believe me or not, despite the fact that this album only has 14 tracks, this album has 6 singles. I crap you not. So, let's get on with the first single, which is called One More Time. And this single came out November 30th of the year 2000. And this was the leading music video for the movie Interstellar 5555. And I'm not sure if how Cartoon Network presented it. It presented like as a music video based off of the movie, like the first scene from the movie. And matter of fact, let me give you some info on that. The music video features scenes which will later form part of Interstellar 5555, and I've explained what that is already. The video features a pop band of blue-skinned aliens performing the song to a crowd on their home planet while a mysterious force approaches it. Like the rest of the feature film, it was directed by Kazuhisa Takenouchi under the visual supervision of Leiji Matsumoto. So, yeah, there you go with that. I ain't gonna try to give the movie away, but it does basically involve a pop band of blue-skinned aliens and a mysterious force as well. Not to mention other beings. Yeah, we can call it that. Other beings. So, did this make the... Oh my God, did this make the charts? So let's take a look at the charts real quick. It was number 10 out in Australia, number 7 out in Austria, and in the 50 Wallonia, and in Germany. It was number 6 in the Flanders chart, as well as Switzerland. It was number 28 in the Brazilian singles chart. I think that's new. It was 11 out in Denmark. I already mentioned Germany. It was 9th in Ireland, 5th in Italy, 49th in Japan, 11th in the Netherlands, 10th in New Zealand, 3rd in Spain, 26th in Sweden, 6th in Switzerland. I felt like I mentioned that already. No, I didn't. And 2nd in the UK singles chart, 61st in the US Billboard Hot 100, 33rd in the mainstream top 40. Now, it was number 1 in the following: Canada, Eurochart Hot 100 singles, that's new. France, Scotland, UK Dance, US Dance Club Songs Chart, in the US Billboard Hot Dance Singles Sales Charts. Wow, okay. And the single itself got some certifications. Australia, France, Germany, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom, all gold. So, yeah. There you go with that. Now let's move on to the second single of this track, which just so happens to be the second song off the album, which is called Aerodynamic. Now, this single came out March 28, 2001. And it features a prominent guitar solo. Now, there was a music video for this as well, and again, it contains scenes from the movie Interstellar 555. And this point, again, which shortly follows one more time, the video shows an army of humanoid troopers sedating the audience with gas, so basically knocking them out, and poisoning and kidnapping the alien band members from the One More Time video. The guitarist, later revealed to be named Arpegius, escapes and runs away from the troopers, but one of the troopers shoots him with a tranquilizer dart. The troopers gather the members in pods, and the pods get beamed up to a vessel. The audience wake up confused, and then the vessel flies away. So there you go with that. Now let's take a look at the charts. Okay, they ain't bad. 67 out in Australia, 42nd on Flanders, 24th in Wallonia, 46th in the Czech Republic. Now that's new. 19th in Finland, 34th in France, 73rd in the Netherlands, and 46th in Switzerland. Now let's move on to, again, the third single off this track, as well as the third song off the album, which is called Digital Love. Digital Love dropped as a single June 11th, 2001. And we're going now to the music video. So again, this took place after Aerodynamic. So off that movie, Interstellar 555. So basically, the alien planet security guards regained enough consciousness to send a distress signal to a distant astronaut named Shep, S-H-E-P, Shep. At first, Shep is seen cleaning his spaceship's exterior while singing along with the song's lyrics. So basically, he was singing Digital Love. After completing the task, he returns to the ship and lounges around in his bedroom filled with posters of the alien band. He drifts into a daydream where he dances with his crush, the band's female bass player, who was later named Stella, in midair. Step's dream comes to an abrupt halt when he is awakened by the distress signal sent to him. To his horror, he learns of the band's abduction and current state of the alien planet, immediately pursuing after the kidnappers. After the chase leads through a warp hole, the kidnappers make a safe landing with the unconscious alien band at their base on Earth, with Shep crash landing into a nearby forest, temporarily rendering him unconscious. The kidnappers take the sedated captives into the base lab for the events that take place in the Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger video. We'll get more on that in a second. So, anything in the charts? Okay, this ain't bad as well. So we got 67 out in Australia, 2nd on Flanders, 38th in Wallonia, 33rd in France, 85th in Germany, 60th in Switzerland, and 14th in the UK singles charts. Now, the moment you all been waiting for. Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. This single dropped October 13, 2001. A live version of this song was released as a single from the album Alive 2007, which came out October 15, 2007. But that version actually won a Grammy Award for Best Dance Recording in 2009. In 2011, NME placed it at number 132nd on its list of 150 best tracks of the past 15 years. So that's pretty crazy. Now, let's get on with the music video. For, again, coming from the anime film Interstellar 5555. So the 4 characters that were kidnapped are basically transformed by various machines to resemble humans. And that's it. That's all this was. And I believe they were, if memory serves correctly, something was placed on their head that basically forget that they were aliens and forget where they came from. So they basically were mind slaves to this guy. Now, a little bit of some background info in regards to this. This song was sampled by Kanye West. As you remember, he came out with that song called Stronger from his graduation album, I think I reviewed that album. Yes, I did review that album, by the way. So, 2 actors who wore the robotic Daft Punk costumes in the film Daft Punk's Electroma, how you pronounce that? Electroma, appeared in the music video for Stronger. It was later performed live at the 2008 Grammy Awards with Daft Punk in their trademark pyramid while West was on stage rapping. Okay, one of the producers for the Discovery album, you know, the one with the really long name, that guy Manuel Soul blah 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 guy, he clarified that Stronger was, and I quote, not a collaboration in the studio, but the vibe of the music we do separately connected in what West did with the song. He later clarified that the live version was, and I quote, truly a collaboration from the start. We really did it all hand in hand, end quote. So yeah, that Stronger song by Kanye West, this is the sample. I believe I mentioned that before already. So let's look at the charts. The original version was number 8 on Flanders, 38th in Wallonia, 17th in France, 70th in Switzerland, 25th in the UK singles charts, and 3rd in the US dance club songs charts. Now the 2007 live version, on the other hand, was 43rd out in Australia, 58th in Austria, 16th on Flanders, 17th in Wallonia, 19th in France, and 50th in Switzerland. And this single was made silver, so it got a certification of silver rather. And there's other versions of this song as well. Wow, really, it made its way into the Cleveland show. That's pretty funny. Now let's move on to another single, not the 5th track off the album, but way down there. And this one is called Face to Face. Now real talk, I had no clue that this was a single. So Face to Face dropped October 10, 2003, and does it? Yes, it does indeed have a music video. So I'm assuming it is based off the film. Now, because this is later on in the album, so at this point comparing it to the movie is later on in the movie. So, okay, let's see. I can't give y'all what happened in the video because that's basically, for the most part, spoils the movie. So I ain't gonna say what happens in the music video. Now, it did only make one chart, and ironically, it was number 1 in the US Dance Club Songs charts. So, there you go with that. Now, let's get on to the 6th and final single, which is called Something About Us. So we're going backwards, and then, the album, as far as like the track listings or whatever. So, Something About Us, oh my gosh, and yeah. This one dropped November 14, 2003. And again, there's a music video. Oh wait, there's 2 music videos for this. Now, the first one I can't tell y'all because again, this is a major spoiler right here. And this is like around the middle of the film, so I ain't gonna spoil it. However, I can tell you guys about the second music video, which isn't much apparently. I didn't see it, but the second music video is a compilation of clips featuring Shep and Stella. This version was released to promote the single version of Something About Us. Now, as far as the charts, it was 93rd out in France and 138th in the UK singles charts. And that's it for the singles. Now, let me give you guys my best tracks off of this album, starting from worst to first. Now, let me explain something to you guys real quick. Seeing how this album, there are no bad tracks off of this album. This is a 5 out of freaking 5. However, I gotta give you my worst 2 first off this album right here. So let's get into it. Superheroes is the worst track off this album. I ain't saying that because it sucks or anything like that. No, it's pretty okay. It's pretty good. It's not one of my favorites, but it's not bad. But again, compared to the other songs on here, it's clearly the worst track off this album. But again, it's not bad. Next up is Veritas Crow. Again, not a bad track, but it's not one of my personal favorites. And it's slightly better than Superheroes in my opinion. Now we get on to the really good stuff. Short Circuit was good. I really like the second half of this track. It's mellow. The second half, this track is mellow. And really the second half should be a track in itself though, because it was really dope. The first part was cool and then okay. And really, I only listened to the first part so I could get to the second part. That's the only reason. Next up is Aerodynamic. And remember how I said there's a website called Daft Club? that have exclusive tracks and things of that nature? Well, there are two versions, I guess, of Aerodynamic. I guess we can call them that. The first one is called Aerodynamic Daft Punk Remix. So basically, it's the same beat from Aerodynamic combined with the lyrics from One More Time. So basically, track 1, track 2 merged together. That's what that is. And then there's another version. I'm not sure you can call it another version of this or a remix, but it's called Aerodynamite. So it's spelled similar to Aerodynamic, but if you take out the C at the end and you add in the TE, there you go. And that one's pretty dope as well. But Aerodynamic is cool. I really like that track right there. Moving on up, Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger is a classic. It's a classic. It led to another classic. So that's next right there. Now we get on to the really good stuff. Night Vision is dope as heck, dog. It is a mellow joint, man. It is extremely mellow out. And it would be higher on this list if the track was longer, because this track was about like 1 minute and 47 seconds, if memory serves me correctly. So if this was longer, yeah, 144 seconds. If this was longer, it would be much higher on the list. But I had to put it right here. Next up is High Life, like the drums and the melody for that one. So yeah, that one's cool. Voyager is semi-mellow, and it's one of my favorites, like that track. Face to Face, featuring Todd Edwards, is a favorite of mine, but there are 2 remixes for that one, and I heard both of them. Are there 2 remixes? Yeah, there's 2 remixes. There's the Demon remix, and then there's the Cosmo Vitelli remix. The Demon remix was cool. I just heard that one a few minutes ago, but that Cosmo remix though, woo! If that joint was a part of the album, that would clearly be the best song off the album, but it's not. Man, that Cosmo remix though, that joint is dope. Oh my gosh. But the original is really cool. It's a favorite of mine, but it's not the best track off this album. Moving on. Too Long featuring Romanthony is really cool. It's 10 minutes long, but I had no problem listening to it for 10 minutes straight. It's really that dope. And then of course, One More Time is the 4th best track off this album, again featuring Romanthony. And that joint is really dope, man. I can't help but to sing that song. And if y'all seen my Instagram, coming home from Chicago, C2E2 that is, I was basically playing the whole Discovery album. Y'all heard me sing in this one. So let me give you guys my top 3 songs off of this album. Digital Love. Digital Love. Where to begin with this one? Every time I hear this one, man, I can't help but to sing it. It's a mellow out joint. You know how I feel about mellow out joints. And this is like one of those I'm in love mellow out joints. That's the name, Digital Love. It's really dope, man. Really love this track. Second best track off this album, Something About Us. Digital Love, like I said, is a really good mellow out joint, one of my all-time favorites. But Something About Us, that is the ultimate mellow out joint. Oh my gosh, dog. That is without question one of my all-time favorite tracks ever, dog. It is so dope. And it's smooth. It's really smooth, man. It's not the smoothest joint of all time, but it's still smooth and it's really mellow out, man. Really love that track. But yet, it's the second best track off this album. The best track off this album is Crescent Dials. That drum kick, when the drums pick up, oh my gosh, dog. I was like, yo, I need that drum kick. I remember one time I was searching for hours for that particular drum kick, but I couldn't find it. That mug is dope. Oh man, like you gotta get to like a good 40-50 seconds into this track to hear that drums, though, that drum kit. Oh my gosh, man. So Crescent Dials, best song off this album, followed by Something About Us and Digital Love. That's the top 3. So let me give you guys some professional ratings. Metacritic gave it 74 out of 100. AllMusic gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Entertainment Weekly gave it a B. The Guardian gave it 2 out of 5 stars. They must be smoking something. Moving on. Mixmag gave it 5 out of 5 stars. NME gave it 9 out of 10. Pitchfork gotta be smoking some crack because they gave it a 6.4 out of 10. Q gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Rolling Stones gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Spin gave it 8 out of 10. And The Village Voice gave it a C+. So, what do I think of? Really, do I have to answer that? Do I really have to answer that? Because I've been saying this throughout this whole review. And I really don't want to say, I hate repeating myself, despite the fact I've been doing that all throughout this entire review. But there's this little voice in my head. I'm acting like Randy Orton here. I'm hearing voices in my head, and it's telling me to inform you guys of my review again. I don't want to, but I'm gonna go along with it. This is a 5 out of freaking 5. I mean, come on. The only regret that I have in regards to this album is that I do not have a physical copy. That's the only regret I have about this album. Everything else is phenomenal. Strictly phenomenal. A number of my all-time favorite tracks are a part of this album. Going back to my list, from Night Vision on up, all of them my favorites. All of them my favorites. And that's right there, really, is 9 tracks. 9 out of 14. You can't beat that. 5 out of freaking 5. Go buy a physical copy of this album. It is really, really, really dope. And it's clearly 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, man, with all that out the way, man, y'all know who this is. This is the new Jay Gatsby, aka the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.